Get on yet, y'all. We're on and we're live. Hello, everybody. This is Pete France of the France Group with EXP, Keisha Macklin, and Anita Lynch. Oh, not Phillips Lynch, Anita Lynch. Um, we are here to talk about some issues. Um, this is an impromptu show. We actually are just coming on here today to give some insight on what's going on in the real estate market from a basic level. Interest rates are rising immediately. They are going up. People that used to be qualified 3 weeks ago for 200,000 probably only qualify for 165. So that's a difference. Just an estimate of what it could be, but that's what's going on right now. It is imperative that you understand the market when you're in the marketplace. There is a shortage of inventory at the time. Um, Prices are absolutely higher than they were due to people rushing to actually grasp and take advantage of the lower rates. So it's been a lot of people moving and motivated to get home ownership under their belt or do the move ups because the rates were so low. People could buy more house than they could afford at a regular interest rate before. When I think I bought a house in 2007, the rates were at like 7.5% to 8%. Rates dropped before then under 2.5%. And it is imperative that we understand what that does and how it affects our bottom line as a purchaser, as a buyer, and as an investor. I actually work with all three, and we, Keisha, Anita, and myself, work with first-time home buyers, move-up buyers, and investor clients. Um, so Keisha works with a lot of first-time home buyers. Anita works; she's really listing all over the board, and I do a little bit of everything um, as well. I've been in business since 1999 and 2004, licensed to do residential real estate. Um, that's just a little bit about us. So we are more than qualified to help you. We do have a new program that actually I did a webinar this morning with Curbio. If you're an investor or a new buyer, a new seller that have work to do on their home and don't have the funds, you can do deferred payments. That means the company will come in and rehab the house or do different things to the house from outside to inside and put it on your HUD-1, your settlement sheet, and not take the money until after settlement. Sometimes people have estates, they have parents' homes that need to be updated or something of that nature, and they need to utilize a resource because they don't have the extra money to do a rehab or do an upgrade. We have a program that will allow you to have very, very professional renovations done um, at a market value price and build at closing. So, with that being said, that is another thing that we actually are working on right now. The other thing, we have Kingdom Homes, which will be coming. Anyone that has a church home that wants to donate a portion of their transaction towards a charity or to their home, please call us about Kingdom Builders. Um, any church home, mosque, synagogue, any of those worship facilities, and you want to make a donation through your transaction, we also have a program for that. Finally, if you're interested in a career in real estate, we are in, I think, one of the best companies on this side of heaven. And I believe that I was divinely led there and where can you work somewhere and have 3 streams of income, possibly 4. So I work at EXP, so that is definitely brought my heart joy, um, because it's not only increase, you have the ability to increase your bottom line, stock, retirement, we have health insurance, unlike many other brokerages, and a lot of opportunity for growth. So if you're interested in real estate, please definitely reach out to us. We have coaching. We are a virtual company. We work in the virtual world. We also have VR, so virtual reality. We operate in the cloud. So if you want to see how that is for us, a lot of times you have to go into an office with us. We meet with people all over the country in our cloud format, through Verabella. So that's just a little bit of an introduction of what we are, who we are. Keisha and Anita can speak, because I'll take over and talk forever. Keisha, you have anything to say?
Nita can go first.
Okay. Hello, Nita. Did she fall off? Where's she at? I don't see Nita. Nita is probably getting beautiful for this. She actually is not on at the moment. So Keisha, how has it been being an agent thus far for you? I just asking, how do you like the business? What are the challenges that you face?
So far, it's been pretty good. I'll say some of the challenges are more so the interaction with different agents.
Other professionals?
Yes.
Yeah.
Some are not as friendly as others, but it's just a learning experience.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to speak to that because in this industry, let me keep it very
yeah,
gauged.
I was trying to word it. You
We're not that popular. Let's say we find ourselves. You have to have a great amount of knowledge to do this business, and people that have been in the business sometimes don't don't have the level of respect for the incoming or the new, let's just say, newer agents. It's not everybody. You can't say blanket everybody doesn't, because we all
right,
have to work together, indirectly or directly. We have to work together. If you want to get your contracts accepted, you have to be nice, kind, and friendly.
right,
um, you will, I mean, you could be blacklisted, and people do it. They do it to the appraisers, they do it to the lenders. I mean, clients could do it to you as well. It is imperative that we are just a kind people, trying to help solve problems for our clients. You know, it is not personal a lot of times, but professionalism is very important when you are operating in this industry, and you must have the highest level of integrity, because you will seek challenges, and you won't do as much business because of your name. Your name is everything.
right.
So I would say smile past the pain. Sometimes I, as a seasoned agent, might even already know the disposition of an agent. And I use my mute button sometimes, when I'm listening. Sometimes you just gotta listen. But behind that mute button, I might be going off because they don't make no kind of sense. But I had to learn a way to navigate dealing with people, because I think in the world that we deal with today, I have faced so much, and I just had to clearly say it: racism. I've dealt with things of that nature, and It's been direct and indirect. And what are we supposed to do? Because we can't speak on certain things, we can't say certain things, but it seems that everybody pushes the button to say it to you, to do you, and to hurt you.
Right.
And you have to take the higher road. And sometimes you get fed up. The high road is not always the easy road. So, and people sometimes are wrong. When I can say for you being a very detailed agent, because I've worked with you, some old habits are not necessarily right habits that they have created. So you have to check them with law. You check them with the guides and the information. I find that it is not easy when someone's talking to you disrespectfully. You already have to manage your client's expectation and their emotions. That is one thing. I have been actually people right now know I'm out for surgery, and people expect, they don't care if I had to go out. That's my personal issue. They want what they want, when they want it, and how they want it. And some people that have compassion and care, they're the people that I want to work with. They're the agents that I want to do business with. And you have a choice. You have a choice to work with people that are like-minded.
Right. Right.
Don't feel like it's working out. You have to be transparent and honest. Like, I don't think this is a good fit for me. And that's all the way around the board, because it's not worth the stress. No paycheck is worth the stress. And if people really understood the money and the financial obligation that you have as an agent, and that they see a big check and they don't know that that check gets split up 12 different ways, and you got to do 5 of those checks to make a decent salary. Some people have no idea of what that even looks like. They just see HGTV and flips and going up in Bentleys and Rolls Royces in Miami, on TV. But that doesn't mean that everyone is earning an income like that or selling at that level. And price point matters. Someone in Miami might actually be in a place that they can sell an average home of $750,000 to $1 million each one.
Right.
That's a different check than if you're in Baltimore,
Right.
and your average home sale is $175,000 to $275,000, and you do one of those at the same percentage, and then you split it. They're not really. I don't think clients really understand, and then they feel. I'm going to say this. A lot of clients feel, well, if you didn't do this or you didn't do this fast enough, I'll go to another agent. We're operating in a time of, I shared this with you guys earlier, where people just want what they want instantaneously. They want it right now. They don't, sometimes it's not even good to operate in that manner, because you can't get the benefit of what things are. You have to be able to study, research, analyze, and make sure that you're in a place that the market can yield you a benefit, and not because it just had a pretty kitchen. The one good thing about Baltimore right now is we're growing, and a lot of areas are in this transition. Something like DC was in like 10 years ago, that where they started doing every area. And I believe that's where we have a lot of investors that are coming out from a lot of other places. And it's important that we actually take heed and work with new people, and teach them how to do what their desire is. Putting your money in the bank and saving it is not going to grow your money, but investing in a piece of real estate definitely will grow and appreciate, even in a bad market.
Right.
Appreciate. So the challenge of working with other professionals can be a very, very hard challenge. I tell you, that's something that I've endured since day one. But you smile and keep it moving. Oh my goodness, I just hung up on my arm. I'm doing recording. I'm so sorry. She's like, I know she know I'm calling. But anyway, I definitely next piece of information.
Interest rates.
Interest rates. Right now, interest rates are Friday. I checked; they were 4.9 something. They're like 5% pretty much, quote unquote. They're at 5%.
So even someone with a perfect credit score isn't getting a 3.0, 2.5.
So if they already been in the process and they lock the rate, that means they paid to lock that rate, or that rate is within their approval period.
Mm-hmm.
They get the rate whatever was quoted to them, or the lender will have to do a buy down.
Right.
They can pay the rate down, depending on how many points and what that costs. They can buy it down. That's expensive at times, or you can, if you don't want to buy down the rate, you can put more. Well, putting more money down is not going to change nothing.
Not much at all.
$5. It's not going to change anything. Yeah. Like I would tell people, keep the money in the bank and have enough money to offset your payment for 6 months to a year, and pray that the rates go low. Now people are going to they're going to start being creative. Okay. Everyone used to say, don't get an adjustable mortgage. Don't get a this. There are some new capped adjustable products that cap at a certain rate that won't allow it to go over a certain amount. People will have to utilize that to get into some of the property they want, because if they only qualify for $200,000 6 months ago, now they're at 160 and the average house is 275. How do you deal with that? You have to go in at a lower rate that has the ability to increase over time, and then that locks. Before, the cap on that adjustable didn't lock. It was a lot of subprime lending going on. People with subprime credit scores were buying, so it was like a whole bunch of foolishness in the middle. But it's more governed now. People went to jail, got in trouble. Many of you kind of probably read or know somebody that had a challenge because they didn't do the right thing. We've been here through that time, and you have to now buckle down, save. What I would do personally in my home search, if I was a buyer at this time, which I probably will be a buyer of a personal home probably within the next 24 months. But for now, if I were a buyer in this market, I would definitely go after pre-owned homes that were in disrepair. If you need to really figure out, I want to get into this neighborhood, I really can't. And there's not that many foreclosures released, but they are being released. So if that's the case, I would, but let me tell you what's really screaming right now, auctions.
Yeah.
So auctions are really taking a lead right now. And if I were in the marketplace right now, I would not necessarily do an auction, but I would definitely do a house that that needed some repairs and do a 203K loan. That means you can get the property a little bit under market, and you could get the loan actually will pay a portion thereof, if not the entire portion of what repairs you're going to have done. Again, like I said, Curbio is something that sellers could use. That's not going to really help the buyer, because then the seller will be able to get top dollar once they go through deferred payments until closing and the work being done. Everyone's staging their homes. Everyone thinks they're HET ready. Some people's pristine work is not pristine. I'm working on one. I just finished one, and that is a great source of wealth. Um, if you think about your money sitting there, you can utilize it. I think every person in America needs to have 10 homes for security. Um, any entrepreneur needs to have at least 5 to 10 doors, piece of real estate, for their kids, for them. That stability. When you have a home, even though you think it's going to be a headache for the property management part, it could be. And with us going through the pandemic, it has been definitely uh, a thorn in my side, dealing with owners and expectations, the court system saying you can't collect the rent because people are affected or infected, dealing with owners and expectations, the court system. I was on your phone. Is that you? Did you? Okay. You all right? Next, let's talk about something else. Any others? Any other challenges that you find? You said the interest rate. So we're at an interest rate that we're gonna be at for a second. We're in a war. Well, we're not in a war, but the war is indirectly affecting us
Right.
due to the economy, mortgage-backed securities, and other issues that we have governing our government from before. So decisions that were made and that are being made don't always help us with interest rates. It's almost like a web, Charlotte's web. It's like a web. Everything has something to do with something else, even though they say it's not connected directly.
Right.
Indirectly, it affects programs, money, budgets, and things of that nature. Anything else? Does anybody have any questions? I think you can post a comment on Facebook. I think I can see it on here. If anyone has any questions, they can actually text me. I'm gonna put my number up here, and I'll answer questions that you might have. And this is an information session. We are going to have a home buying seminar on, I think Keishel is planning it for the 14th of next month. Let me look at the dates again. And the 22nd. I just got to figure out what the dates are. For people that want, there's still grant money out there. For landlords that have properties that tenants didn't pay and it affected you from COVID, you can contact my office, Chris. We'll definitely be able to lead you in the right direction of getting that information and or helping you to obtain the understanding of what to do or how to do what you do. We are absolutely accepting new property management. On the property management side, real estate is completely separate than property management and project management. And project management is you pay a fee and you allow the staff to run your project, your rehab from beginning to end so that you don't have to be there every day. That is another service that we have. We also work with the banks. And we'll be starting to deal with foreclosures again at a small level. I am certified in relocations and REOs. So with those certifications, it allows me to work with foreclosure properties and moving military from state to state or people that have corporate housing or corporate purchases. We also can do that on our team. We are not a team of one. It is about 7 of us, something like that work in the office daily. And I'm very excited about that. Let me see what this date is for this seminar. Okay. So I believe on the 22nd of this month, 23rd. 23rd is a Saturday. There'll be a seminar. It will be posted on my social media, on Keisha's social media, on Keisha Luter's social media, on Anita Lynch's social media. Um, so you can find out more information. There are MMP, Maryland Mortgage Program, does still have the ability to lend money. And that means when you're applying for a home, you're getting a grant. And I don't know if many people know, but in the state of Maryland, to purchase a home, you need 3.5% down. That is not the closing cost. That is your down payment. You have to usually have that of your own money. Closing costs, you can up to 6%. You can receive from the seller up to 6% in proceeds. Normally, closing costs don't exceed 3 to 5%, but most people don't know that. And if you want to come in and do a one-on-one, I'm definitely available. Any of us are available for appointments. This week we're trying to do 10 appointments this week. I already have 3 scheduled, so that means we have a few spaces left for appointments. You could text my phone, and I'll put you with one of the agents or myself. And we are family. We work together very cohesively. No one person does more than the other. We all work together as a family. And that's the culture I had. That's what I wanted. And we also have people, if you know anyone in LA, Atlanta, or Florida, we have people in those spaces already. We look to expand to other places, but right now that's where we are, and that's what we are doing. Keisha, any other questions for me? I don't know what happened to Nita. We don't. Somebody just text. Do I have part-time receptionist positions? No, we are the receptionists. No. So the way real estate works, 9 times out of 10, if you're talking about a real estate property, you have to be licensed. So people are not aware of that, but you can't just randomly call and talk to anyone. And if you call a real estate brokerage, most of the time you will be directed to a licensed agent. So we actually take all of our calls, most of our calls. Hi Cheryl, how are you? So we take most of our calls directly. But there are other jobs within our office that people do. Marketing people. I have virtual assistants doing work. There are different dynamics and demographics of what we're looking to do that people work on those projects. And that's like where the opportunities are, not normally answering the phone. Answering the phone, you'll normally get the direct agent most of the time. If you call my office, you'll probably get Chris. Chris manages most of everything with all of my businesses. So he'll direct you in the way that you should go, or he should be able to handle. Chris is licensed, so he can handle whatever those needs are for you in your endeavors. Any other questions you think, Keisha?
No other questions.
Comments?
Well, they can also do the rent to own program.
Can you talk a little bit about that? And there are 2 of them that I know of at this point. Do you know of any more? I don't know, but I know you do rent to owns.
Okay. With Landis rent to own, their requirements are at least 30,000 annually,
Okay.
550 credit score. You have to have 3,000 in your bank account, whether it's checking or savings. And if you do have any bankruptcies, they have to be discharged. They're the only 4 qualifications that they have.
Okay. So what is the minimum credit score?
550.
Okay. So you guys, um, those people that you really think that you're close to purchasing, but there might be some missing pieces to that. Landis is a company that will, and you could call Keisha. Her and Anita are working that program. Um, you can call and get pre-qualified with them. Uh, they they will purchase the house for you,
Correct.
and then the goal is for you to buy it from them
Within a year or two.
in a year or two.
And
So
also your rent, part of your rent payment goes into a savings account to help you with your down payment when you're ready to purchase.
so that might be another program you guys are interested in, the rent to own program. Keisha, I'm going to put your number in the chat. Well, on the thing. So, what's your number, Keisha? Let me see. Just tell me the number, Keisha.
443
Look at this behind you too. Go ahead.
572 9585.
9585
Yes.
443 572 9585. Okay. And this is Keisha, you guys. Keisha's very diligent. We all have different personalities and work with people differently. So I am very bubbly, very bubbly. No, and I'm very focused on the behind the scenes. Honestly, I actually know that that's my gift, and that's where I thrive. With the important stuff. Um, let me make that look a little bit more professional. Um, so my strength and what I do and bring to the team is I deal with all of um, the important details as it pertains to legal stuff, and only because my experience gives me a edge to be able to deal with contracts differently, understanding contracts, handling people and their money is a definite challenge, especially when they feel like we're not following up enough. That's a big issue. Expectation, and location. I say that expectations are needing to be set in the beginning of any transaction. Before you go out to look at a house, you must meet with the agent in the office. I think it is imperative. You do yourself a disservice when you don't go over the process. What do you expect and what you of us and what we should expect of you? I think that is key in our industry. I can't do my job effectively without honesty. Clients sometimes don't want to tell you everything. Well, what I tell people in the beginning is, you both, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, parts of this transaction are married to me during the transaction. And I say it that way. Be married, because I need to understand your heartbeat. I need to understand what makes you move, what doesn't make you move. A lot of husband and wives, boyfriend and girlfriends, people that are buying homes, um, really sometimes when they go to look, don't know what they want and are not on one accord. Sometimes we play mediator, counselor, psychologist. I mean, we do. So sometimes you have to be able to have a great rapport with both of your agents. Um, both of your agents, both people have to have a in sync relationship with their agent. They have to both like them, know that they got their both best interests at heart. If she says that she wants a new kitchen and he doesn't care, he just wants a basement space. Why are we showing them an old kitchen and no basement in the house? Some basic things that I think are common sense are not common to some. So listening and being able to hear what people really have to say. If your kid goes to school and you don't want to drive 15 minutes outside of the area in which they go to school, we need to narrow the zip codes down. And just because, and I'm going to check you because you sent me a house in Woodlawn and you know that the school is in Reisterstown, it's out of your range, even though the whole house is renovated. Are you willing to make those sacrifices? Is the kid's education more important or is the house more important? Is the investment going to yield a return that will make it worth it, or that you'll be able to put the kid in private school? But these things have to be weighed when you're buying a house. It's not just opening a door, seeing if I like it, and they got the bedrooms, it's a fly kitchen and a nice basement. That's not enough. There are factors. People sometimes have to, with our city employees, a lot of times there are city government people that hold office must live in the city. So with that being said, you got to know the areas in which they would want to live and that are not highly taxed, because a lot of homes in the city are taxed differently than they're taxed in the county. I mean, we got to understand that you could get a house in the county with a higher payment because the taxes are less. But you're looking at the price. This is what a good agent will express. You have a lower price house in the city with the taxes through the roof. Your payment could end up being more in the city based on the taxes than if you went to the county and say, I'm at the top of my budget. I'm almost there and I don't want to go over my budget. I say my affordability is one person's income. That's what my recommendation is. But people's comfortability level is not necessarily that. They're not always comfortable. I have a client, they were like, well, I can get $250, but if I put my significant other on the loan, we could go $400. Why? If you can't find what you're looking for, then I understand. Maybe add a little bit, but don't go all the way to $450 or $425. And now you're not going to be able to do much of that anyway because the rates have gone up. Because your payment that you would have had is completely different than what it would have been now. So what it is now. Now you can refinance when you have equity and you have a lower rate that comes to the market. But this is the thing. When you buy a house, if you're not at that place where the market has adjusted and you understand the rates and where they're going and you're not following properly, when it comes time to refinance, most people are not ready because life is happening. So we always have to always be ready, always save. So if you buy at the top of your budget, the likelihood of you saving is not going to be likely. It's going to be very unlikely. So it's definitely something that people need to take time. I have been in business, and I'm not tooting my horn. I'm just saying since I was 17. By 21, I had 6 salons. I was building business. I believe strongly in duplication. Why I say that is you need someone that understands what they're doing, the market, and the demographic of what's happening next. You don't want to buy a house and I'm not saying you don't want to, but there are houses that are in neighborhoods that are on a plan to be taken down. Clearly. Now, some investors might like that, but if you're buying your dream home and you pay $200,000 for a house on Lower Park Heights, and let me explain this: houses and prices are changing daily. Daily. I remember You could not, 99,000, 100,000, 110 was about the amount of money that you paid for a house in Edmondson Village back in the day. Edmondson Village. Right now, you can't even try. You might get in there for 169, 175. Now, all the houses are beginning to all look very nice. The area's coming up. But I just listed a house on outside Coppin Heights is listing for 220,000 in Coppin Heights. The lowest house that sold around there was 189 recently. So, and they're working on that area, and it is coming up, and it is off North Avenue, and it's great. But if you don't, understand that, when you go out to look at houses, you're going to be culture shocked. You're not going to understand where I need to look to get the value that I can afford, because it's based on affordability, not just that I got pre-approved. Because just because you got pre-approved for an amount doesn't mean you can afford that amount. And that's important that people to take and understand as well, because I think people are so microwaved, have a microwave mentality, that they used to say back in the day, you have to crawl before you walk. We're skipping the crawl. In everything, there's a process. And if you go from not paying a mortgage in an apartment to a note that's triple what you were paying, you're going to have payment shock. Even if you can afford it on paper, that doesn't mean you know how to handle those expenses, because with that house, there comes maintenance. If you don't have a warranty, if you haven't embraced that, repairs do happen even in a brand new house. They're needed. People, I'm a complete. I had a lot happen to me when I first moved here. Within the first month, furnace went out, toilet flooded down into my dining room, kitchen sink backed up, stove wouldn't work, and all the stuff worked when it was inspected. And I'm an agent. But does that make, and here's the thing, nobody can blame anybody for any of that. Thank God for a warranty. Thank God for a little extra income at the time, because you can work through those challenges. But you can't throw the house away once you sign the papers. So I think that's something else that people need to take into consideration. I know it's almost going on an hour, but you have anything else? Because I'm going to end with some things, dreams, goals, and success. I want to discuss that a little bit, because purchasing a home, being a wealth builder, understanding what's next for you in your life, I believe needs to be planned out. A lot of things that I've achieved in my life or not achieved was due to me writing things down, documentation. If you kind of look, I have books everywhere. Literally for everything I got a book. So, but it helps me.
I just started doing that too.
I have so many of them, and I use color pens. Let me just show you guys. I utilize color pens to help me stay informed, or papers and tasks, and because I wasn't the organized person. But when you're not as organized, you have an amazing assistant like I do. Chris is over there laughing. You have an amazing assistant. Chris really is amazing. You're not scared to hire. But right now we're in a time, because of the world economics, that people need to crunch their bills. I told my staff about 6 months ago that I'm going to have to really learn how to pull it in, crank it down, shrink out those expenses, pay things off, paying credit cards off one at a time, pay them off. Don't use them and pay them off. Due to our world global issues. I didn't see COVID coming. Thank God I had investments and things that helped me. And I didn't get no PPP money, and I have a real business. And I needed it. But, and I feel the effects of COVID now, even now. So I have made a decision as a young man to try to do things a little different so that I can have a very, very non-stressed future. And I've been studying a lot about what the brain does and how the body responds to stress, because so many people have died around me due to complications, which I believe are stress related. When people just are under 50 and drop from just dying left and right, that's something that's going on. Not only the food that we're eating, I'm actually starting to walk every day. I mean, I didn't take it as serious, but when my friend Sean passed, I was like, okay, that was a wake-up call for me, because we had a lot of the same behaviors, and he really meant a lot to me as a friend, very giving and loving and understanding, and he worked very, very hard for his family, and he's not here today. So I had to make some real changes for myself immediately because my boys need me. And I love my mother and father, but I want to spend more time with my parents, as they getting up in age, and they're not old, but the more time you spend with your family, I want to have the time to be able to not only travel, but have intimate relationships with my family. Our family is a real family. So those things, be it as it may, are important to me. Just building an empire doesn't do it enough. It's not enough. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. People care less. So I'm gonna have. I have one book that I already have out, but I'm gonna create. Well, I've already created. Dreams, Goals, and Success, a seminar dealing with your belief systems and how your brain operates and what actually, I'm wrapping it up. Okay. See how that is? I mean, I know. But thank you, Chris. I was a little off track. I kind of was paying attention to the time, but I have 4 minutes. Okay. I'm going to say this. Not only are we going to do we're going to do some things. I'm going to have something at some churches, and it's going to be an event. So if anybody wants to donate some magazines, please call me. Their number is scrolling, please. I need magazines. We're going to do an accomplishment board. I don't think people take pride in their accomplishments enough. I don't think people understand that they have achievements that they feel good about. Self-esteem, confidence, and feeling good about oneself is very important when you're growing. Because when you grow, as I have been challenged with and have been depressed by as well, I have to be their parent. I don't know why it froze up. But I have to be transparent. It's imperative that you don't bleed and spit up on people around you. Everyone got something going on and everybody has challenges. It's just how you handle them. So I think that the accomplishment board is important. Everyone always does the vision board. I got you. But we got to see what we accomplished first. Then after that, we need to embrace and understand who we are and the crap that we don't need to take into our now time, our moment now, our present situation. We're going to put that all on the crap board. People are visual. The things that you don't want anymore, the things that you don't need anymore. It could be relationships. It could be friendships. It could be, this is the end of this relationship at this point in my life, or I put it on pause until I get to the next part. There's some certain things in your life that are toxic. You might work your job, hate it, and show up. But this might be the catalyst that will make you go get a new job. And because nothing's secure now, and nothing is secure. So people, I've been here for 24 years. Yeah, my friend was somewhere 24 years, corporate company, laid off, and had to start over. And not far from retirement. So, and the last board would be the vision board. So we're gonna have that as a time, 1 hour a day of understanding your beliefs, self-care, and self-building is equivalent to 9 40-hour work weeks. The more you pour into yourself, you pour in yourself, it's been studies done. If you pour in yourself 1 hour per day, the results from that are 9 40-hour work weeks. Focus is important. People, now I'm going to be going over focus in my events, my seminar, and also another thing that I wanted to say, you have to believe what you want. It's almost like people said the law of attraction. The law of attraction is so important, but if you don't believe it, why should someone else believe in you? So I think when you're doing your dreams and your boards and things of that nature, you need to read it every day. I have been sending out affirmations. I've been spontaneous with it because my method of doing things daily is I didn't want to be so traditional in my efforts that people become numb to what I do. Because if I take time and I'm pulling out affirmations and I'm sending prayers and I'm doing that stuff, it takes time. And sometimes it becomes redundant. Oh, that's a prayer from, oh, and they screw on right. They don't even read it. But every once in a while, if I do it, then you'll look forward to it at times. And some people have said, "Oh, where is it? Did you send it today?" No, but one's coming tomorrow. And then they anticipate it. So I have talked all of the time that I'm able to today. Keisha, did you have anything to wrap us up with? Anything? And if anyone has any questions or interested in real estate as a career, want to sell, buy, lease, or rent, rent their home, please definitely take down our numbers or hit us in our inbox. Anything to wrap up, Keisha?
For this session, no, I think we went over interest rates, first-time home buyer.
We didn't do auction though, but we need to get into auction.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do it. I'll do something on auction. What's today? Today's Monday. I'll do it Wednesday. I'll speak on auctions on Wednesday. It'll probably be about the same time in the afternoon. I think it's important that you understand the auction, what it's for, why do people use them, and how do you use them. Some agents don't know, but they can work with the auction companies as well, so that they can accomplish their clients' goals. But that's pretty much it. I thank God for each and every one of you that tuned in or that has tuned in, or that you're seeing this video. My name is Pete France. I am joined by one of my team members, Lakeisha Macklin. She's very diligent, very, very persistent in her understanding the new things and the nuances. She's hungry. And we had Anita Lynch on earlier. We have another agent, Darius Beckford, that's with us as well, and Keishel Luder. These are agents that are connected to me. that could help you in your home buying goals. I am never too busy. It's a myth. People keep saying, Pete, you're so busy. You're doing so much. No, just because you see my social media doesn't mean that I'm always busy. Um, Call and make an appointment. I'm sure you. And that, with that being said, I thank you guys for tuning in again. My name is Pete France. My number's at the bottom. SellMDHomes.com, ListBaltimoreHomes.com. Um, and if you need a link to look for some houses, just hit us, and I look forward to working with each and every one of you. Knowledge is power. Be and think bigger to become greater. Be and think bigger to become greater. Have an amazing day, and I look forward to talking to you another time. Wednesday, probably at 2. All right, bye-bye. Yeah, but for whatever reason, the live has not cut off, and I hit end the broadcast, you guys. I did hit it, but it is not. It's saying not yet. How can oh, I got comments. That's why. Okay. Um. mm. Okay, I've answered the comments. I'll deal with them offline.